Here at the end of 2008, I finally finished a working prototype of my plane launcher. Previous prototypes were just a straight cart. The problem with the straight cart was it didn't have any steering. When the plane's going slow, it doesn't have any control, so it tends to veer in any direction that it wants. I took some time to make it have two modes. One mode is with two controllers where a friend can operate the cart and bring it back, and second mode is to where it's all operated on one controller. So it's got two motors, one on the cart, one on the plane. When it's worked in the mode on one controller, both motors start at once. The motor on the cart is on a turret, so it allows you to steer that way. I didn't want a direct drive because that would slow the whole thing down, so it has a turret. And so after the plane is launched, the cart can be deactivated and the plane flown, and then after the plane is landed, the cart can be reactivated and brought back on its own power. So here's the turret action. The motor goes to the side. I had it with greater throw than that, but it wound up spinning out too fast, so that's about all the rotation that it needs. One of the tricks was to come up with a switch to turn it on and off so that both vehicles can be operated with one controller. So I've got a servo activated switch that works like that. So when it's off, the motor on the cart and the servo operating it doesn't work, but when it's on, then it activates the motor on the cart and the servo that steers the cart. Okay, in the takeoff mode, the elevons weren't adequate to steer it, so it's nice to have the turret motor on the cart for some vectored thrust. So when it's on takeoff mode, everything's on and both motors fire up. And the reason the cart motor fires up is for the steering, for the vectored thrust. It doesn't really inhibit the speed of the craft at all, but it's just mainly for steering. So when they're both on, the turret works. Elevons don't really provide any steering at all. So then it can take off, and then once it's taken off, then I flip a switch, and then that deactivates the cart, and then only the airplane is under control. So the cart rolls to a stop, and then once the airplane's landed, then the cart's reactivated, the flip of a switch, and then the cart can be brought back on its own power. So crunch. Anyway, that's how it goes.